What's up, guys? Welcome back for another Toukiden 2 episode. So this is going to be a little bit different from what I normally do. This is going to be kind of similar to actually the weapon showcase videos. However, it's going to be a lot more boring for a lot of you, but some of you may find it slightly interesting. I'm joined here today with a welcome Burton. He's a guy that played with me on Killing Floor and not done yet, and also some Toukiden 2 as well. He'll probably be playing with us at some point in the future as far as the multiplayer is concerned. But anyway, say hi, Bird. Say hi again. Okay, so what I want to do with this one, I was actually talking with Burden a little bit earlier about some of my thought process as far as Mitama and how I equip them, how I go about choosing which ones I use for, particular weapons and whatnot. And I had spent, I don't know, 20 minutes earlier trying to figure out what Mitama I wanted to use with my sword and shield. And when I was trying to break down my process for how I choose my Mitama to Burden, I was saying, oh yeah, I could make a video out of this, and probably people would think it was boring. And then he contradicted me and say, oh, you've got me interested. And I was like, oh well, shit, okay, I guess it wouldn't be too hard for me to make a video. I might as well, and bingo bango bongo, here we are. Anyway, right. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I decided to do with my sword and shield, or kinda. It's an interchangeable build, but I'm gonna be primarily using it with the sword and shield. Okay, so what have I got? No, not there. There it is. Okay, so I've got this right here. I named it Breaker S&S, Breaker Sword and Shield, Breaker. All right, so right now I've got 2 attack Mitama, 1 in the attack slot, 1 in the defense slot, and then I've got the Spirit Mitama in the Demon Hand and all that stuff. I'm not too concerned about the Demon Hand attack and all that stuff, but it is what it is. These are obviously welcome to change and all that stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. So what I've got going right now is I've got increased attack, I've got Leech, so that way I gain extra health and all that stuff. I've got Luminescence, Amplify, which I may or may not change. I haven't decided yet. I've got more attack up. I've got more Leech focus. As you can probably get a guess here as to what I'm doing. But I've got Leech Quicken on here. That one reduces skill cooldowns based on the amount of health stolen with Leech. And I've also got this. This is the important one right here. It refills the weapon gauge based on the amount of health stolen with Leech. And then I've also got this one just in case I'm using any elemental attacks or anything like that. I can gain back health by using, that stuff. Then I've got Luminescence Extend, extends the duration, and Luminescence Accuracy, makes it easier to achieve precision strikes, and all that. The ones that are a little... it's this guy here, the Spirit guy, that I might end up swapping out for maybe another attack Oni and all that stuff, if I have I don't even have another one, that's fine. But I could honestly switch them. Right now, like I could take the defense guy and swap him this way, and all that, so that way I can still use Luminescence. But yeah, and that won't be that big a deal. Like I think this guy's defense is it restricts movements, which is still useful for what I've got going with it. But yeah, that's the idea that I had for this. It's basically focusing on Leech for gaining health, refilling weapon gauge, and focusing also on Luminescence by extending the time. And I wanted to do that with the Sword and Shield because it's fast attacking. The weapon gauge attack is relatively useful for getting up in the air and dealing attacks and all that. But that was the general idea I had for that. That took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do, as basic as it is. But anyway, let's get these ones out of here. Or actually, no, what I should do is I should re-register that. But yeah, let's go ahead and swap that back. But yeah, I don't know how long this video is going to be. We'll see. Should be fun. But yeah. We'll see as far as how that goes. Oh, I keep doing it wrong. Dang it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I'll switch that later. Yeah, I can't do it. Okay. So, first thing I would say is, okay, figure out which weapon you're going to be using when you're going to be figuring out which Mitama you want to use with said weapon. And then get a general idea of what you want to do with those Mitama that you've chosen for that purpose. That sounds pretty, mouth garbage right now, but you'll get an idea of it, what I mean. when I actually get into it. So, right now I've got the Oni Stinger. It's a bow. It's a ranged weapon. Now, what I want to focus on with the Mitama that I'm choosing is preferably anytime I'm at max health, I get benefits. And that's probably going to end up going towards weapon gauge filling or unity gauge filling, or both, if I can manage it. In addition to that, other things that'll be useful, I'm sure that there's a weapon-specific Mitama for the bow that, like, reduces charge time or something like that. I haven't found it yet. We'll see when that comes, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Generally speaking, Mitama that have weapon specifics are really good with that specific weapon. I know, sounds crazy. But, yeah. So, things you want to look for as far as basics on your Mitama. So, when you are looking at your Mitama, you can choose 3 different, I guess, styles of Mitama that you're going to use. There are the weapon-specific Mitama, which I'm currently selected. There's the defense Mitama, or the evasion Mitama, I think is what they call it, their evasion skill. And then there's the attack skill, which is the demon hand skill thing. It's when you hold R1 and hit R2. It's your, I'm gonna say attack skill, just to make it simple. So, with the bow, what I want to do is, first off, use a control Mitama for it. And the reason why I want to use control is because the summoned ability, or the ability that they have, the attack skill is Summon Disciple. As you can see there, it summons an Oni where you were last attacked, or where you last attacked for a limited time. Damage it inflicts on the enemy is converted to health and focus for you, but also reduces your elemental defense. That's not that big a deal. I'm not going to be close enough to Oni for them to really be hurting me. Hopefully. That's the idea anyway. But first off, we're going to pick one that'll work as far as their boosts are concerned. Now, I want to go with more than likely passive boosts, and I can explain some of that stuff as well, I mean, since I'm here. I explained it a little bit to Burden, because he was a little confused as to some of the abilities, but he picked it up. But, okay, so you've got the name of the skill, and then a little icon to the left of it. The icon to the left of it is the thing that is most important. That determines how you can use that boost. So if you see the little arrows pointing up, that means it's a passive boost. As long as it's equipped, it doesn't matter which slot the Mitama is currently in. You will get that. It doesn't matter. So this one, Exuberance, increases the damage you inflict when your health is at max. So when your health is at max, you inflict more damage. Pretty basic stuff. Same thing with like Rapture. Increases the amount, the unity gauge rises when your health is at max. I actually might be using Hatsu, if I'm being completely honest. Because it would actually work out pretty well with what I want to end up doing. So, yeah, actually, I might just end up using her. Of course, this one's pretty good, too. Expert Destroyer increases the amount the weapon gauge rises by, just period. You don't have to worry about, you know, having full health and all that stuff. And his last one is pretty good, too. Oni of the Shogunate. Okay, you know, I'm going to use Lady Kasuga instead. Knowledge Absorb is pretty cool and all that. But, yeah, we're going to be using Lady Kasuga. And this is actually the first time that I've equipped her. But of course, the other thing that you'll have to keep in mind is when you are using an Oni, you have to unlock the skills for it. So as you can see, these are all grayed out. It means I can't use them. So you got to go down the list or whatever. Basically, in order to get the last skill, and this applies for all of them, you have to attack an Oni when their health is at max after obtaining all the available boosts, excluding this one. Basically, the last skill for any given Mitama has do yada 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 when all of your available boosts are at max, or yeah, whenever you've obtained all the other boosts. So that's the way you unlock it. And generally speaking, all of the last skills that for a Mitama are fairly powerful. So it's worth doing, basically. So I need to actually unlock all of these ones before I can use Oni of the Shogunate. But yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. Like defeat an Itomi, or beat an Itomi, what? Defeat an Oni while equipping a defense Mitama. So yeah, basically just doing stuff and things. These two are going to be relatively easy to do. That shouldn't be an issue. Heal an ally's status ailment. If I wanted to do that, I'd probably want to use a healing Mitama, because I believe a healing Mitama actually makes it so that when you attack an ally, it cures them of their status effects? I can't remember. It is what it is. I haven't really paid too much attention. Yeah, that's fine. I haven't really paid too much attention to the unlock requirements for a lot of these things, and they've just unlocked. So I don't know if they unlock just regardless of what you're doing, but, you know, hey, it is what it is. Either way, we're going to put her there. Now, next things for that. The next thing you'll probably want to consider is what you want to use for your weapon Mitama. And the biggest thing with the weapon Mitama is the skills that go with the actual characters themselves. So you've got your attack skills, Might, Carnage, and Leech. You've got your defense skills, Taunt, Barrier, Shield, Speed, Healing, Spirit, Deceit, Space, Luck, Support, Plunder, and I always want to say Construct, but it's Control. For a bow, what do I want to use for a bow? Probably Plunder, I'm thinking, but at the same time, we also have to take a look at the boosts to figure out which ones work. So for this particular build, I'm going to be paying attention to the boosts over the actual skills. And it may change depending on what you're doing with the weapon you're doing and what your boosts are and whether or not they rely on, you know, using a particular skill to activate, you know, yada, yada, yada. The thing that I want to focus on is when I'm at max health, I gain weapon gauge or unity gauge. That's the most important thing that I want to focus on. So, boosts before skills in this instance. But, you know, like I said, that's not always the case. So, yeah, I'm going to go over this one. So, okay, we've got Lady Kasuga already equipped. So I want to look for, let's see, Majesty. Majesty is a very important skill. Let's see, this guy's already got Majesty. He's also got defense as well. And if I put him in for this skill, actually, it will help contribute towards getting the unlock for Kasuga. So that's another thing that you could consider as well. So I may end up doing that just because Majesty is pretty useful. Let's see, so what else have we got here? Effectiveness of recovery, not that useful. Oni throw, protection. So increasing defense and Majesty. Protection and Majesty are pretty useful. However, if I can find a different Mitama with Majesty, let's see, this one's for precision strikes, which is pretty good. But if I can find another one with Majesty, and also having something else along with it, no, not so much. Stealth, tenacity. All right, so I might actually just go with that one that I already chose. Yeah, we'll go with Fujiwara here. He seems pretty cool. So we'll go ahead and take off Oni Throw, because Oni Throw draws the Oni's attention when using Demon Hand. That goes against what I want to do. So we'll go ahead and put that on. Now, increases the effectiveness of recovery and may restore recovery stocks after a successful destroyer attack. Well, considering we're going to be focusing on destroyer attacks anyway, that's not bad. Especially considering we want to be at full health, so having more recovery is a good thing. So, that will work for that one. Yes, thank you, Fujiwara. Right, so we've got these two all situated. Now we just have to deal with our Mitama, our other one anyway. So, what other skills work when we've got full health? That is the question. Wish there was an easier way to search for some of these things, but hey, it is what it is. The other thing you could look for, like this one's precision strikes when your health is at max, that's pretty good. The other thing you could look for are things like this, where it says, you know, better precision strikes, because I'm already going to be focusing on health at max anyway, so, you know, that could be good. This one also could be good too, Oni's Bane, because I use up a lot of focus when I'm using ranged weapons. So increasing the refill rate and all that stuff would be a pretty good thing to have. So I may just do this guy, phrasing, just to make it a little bit easier. And this one also increases the max damage you inflict, so I could actually sub out Acrobat and Exuberance, keep on Brandish, and then put on Oni's Bane. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, your voice does not match what you look like. Hang on, what do you look like? Yeah, your voice does not match what you look like. Whatever. I'm not going to judge. Now, as far as what this can do, we've got Agility. Enables a one-time nullification of any incoming attack for a limited time. That's very valuable with the any ranged weapon, really. I'm focusing on the bow right now, so I may just say bow instead of ranged weapon. But that works pretty well, because generally speaking, you get hit with surprise attacks a lot of the time when you're using ranged weapons, so, you know, it is what it is. So energy increases your movement speed and refill rate of the focus gauge. Very useful for running away and also getting your focus back while you're running away. And then increase attack speed and reduces the amount of focus consumed for a limited time. That's very, very useful for the bow, because you end up using a lot of focus. So, yeah, I think we're all set up as far as our bow is concerned. So yeah, this is going to be my setup for using ranged weapons. Pretty fun stuff. So let's go ahead and edit, and then we'll throw this one in here. Yes. Then we will rename this ranged. Ranged. And then, I don't know, you could put like sub brackets in for like, oh, wrong button. You could put sub brackets in for like health max or something like that, just to make it a little bit easier to remember. Oh, I can't do that one, whatever. Can't name it that long. Alright. Yeah, that works. Okay, so ranged, health. So when my health is at max, I get bonuses for using those Mitama eventually. Right, so what next? I'd like to do one more of these before I actually end this little video, 'cause reasons. Okay, so I've got the sword and shield done. I could try to set one up for the chain and sickle. Would you guys like to see a chain and sickle one? That could be fun. Alright, it doesn't really matter which one we put on, so let's go ahead and clear these out real quick. Now, with the chain and sickle, what you want to decide, and this is just my thought process for it, but you want to focus on what your playstyle is when you're choosing your weapon and the Mitama to go with it. So, when it comes to the chain and sickle, I focus almost entirely on aerial attacks, which is, you know, you hold square, launch yourself towards the enemy, and then, you know, deal damage. So, yeah, basically that's it. Now, as far as the Mitama that you choose, it's a little interesting. I think I'm going to want to use a speed Mitama. And the reason why is because they get Mirage. Mirage is very cool for the actual attack skill. Creates a mirage of your character that attacks the enemy for a limited time, although it increases your focus consumption while active. It says that, but it's only if you're using things that actively consume focus. It makes it sound like it uses focus to actually activate the mirage. That's not the case. But it does like double the focus that you use. So, you know, that's just something to consider. But yeah, there's this very particular Mitama that I was looking at. Was it Beauty of Mugen? No. It was a skill... There it is. Okay, Weight of Sakura. It increases the damage you inflict with a precision strike and turns all jumping attacks into precision strikes. That is incredibly powerful. So, yeah, I'm going to want that. So, I believe that this one I can just have equipped and it doesn't matter if I have it as my, you know, whatever. So I could put this guy on, you know, any area. Doesn't matter. I do need to still unlock the skill though. But hey, that'll, you know, happen whenever it happens. This one's pretty easy to do though. It just attack with a precision strike after obtaining all the available boosts, excluding this one. So all I need to do is just do a bunch of precision strikes. Easy. Easy peasy. But that being said, one thing I would like to do is focus primarily on dealing as many precision strikes as possible, regardless of whether I'm in the air or not. Or, alternatively, I could also make it so that I gain benefits to using precision strikes. So say, for instance, I get that last skill, which I will get eventually. I know that there are skills that like restore focus if you deal precision strikes, so that could be a good thing to also compromise on. Um, so yeah, we'll end up doing something like that. Let's see. Let's see. Easier to perform precision strikes when your health is at max. It's good. So, Oni's Bane would be good. I mean, reducing the focus and all that would be pretty nice to have. Maybe. Like, let's see. Sarutobi Sasuke, he's actually already got a weapon specific for the chain and sickle, so I may just end up doing that. But, yeah. Okay, so... reduces an Oni's elemental resistance even further when attacking with elements obtained by Oni. I don't need that on there. I don't even know why I have that on there. Reduces skill cooldowns when using energy. Not that big a deal. Skill cooldowns, I don't really care. Mirage Wraith. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Extends the duration of energy after defeating an Oni or destroying a body part. It could be good, but... yeah, sure. That feeds into the whole Mirage increasing your... you know, weapon gauge gain and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll have Sarutobi over here. Although, no, actually, I should have him on the this thing so I can get Mirage. There we go. Alright, cool. So, right now, we've got Aerial Focus, Energy, and Mirage Plus. Or, Energy Plus. So, what do we want to do now? I probably want to have another Speed Mitama just so I can use Vigor, Energy, and Agility and all that stuff. So it's going to be a little boring watching this one, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so... don't really care about that. Acrobat could be good. Extends the effects of fixing elements to your weapon with Oni Eater after a successful destroyer attack. I don't really use Oni Eater very much. It's a very situational move, so I'm not going to focus on anything like that. It's not that big a deal. I think we'll go ahead and just do these ones. Why not? I'm mostly just using this just for the skills, so that's fine. Now, as far as the defense or evasion Mitama, that's a great question. It's a great question. I know that there are some skills that work with dealing precision damage. I mean, we might as well just put this guy on there if I'm being completely honest. And then we can sub out Sasuke, or Sarutobi Sasuke, with a different Mitama whenever we get his last skill, because then it won't matter so much that that we're using his skill for increasing precision attacks. But yeah, basically the way I've got my my chain and sickle setup is precision. I mean, effectively precision, hitting a lot and all that stuff. So I'll probably want to put on like, I don't know, Blade Wind Sickle or something like that. Because that has the best precision of all of my chain and sickles. But yeah, that's just a general idea as far as some of the basics for figuring out which Mitama you want to use, which setups you want to do, and always remember to register your Mitama that you spent time working on. We'll go ahead and put this one here, and we will rename this, I guess, Chain. And then, can I add precision? I don't think it'll work. Yeah, it's not gonna fit. That's fine. Picking? No. We'll just do precision. Okay, that's fine. Or actually, no, I know what I could name it. I could rename it the new skill. How about Dex? There you go. Now that they changed what what precision is. They turned it into dexterity. That works. Okay, so that's how I figure out what I'm going to do as far as my Mitama are concerned. That's kind of the thought process that I have as far as, you know, which Mitama I'm going to equip and which ones will work in which situation, yada, yada, yada. As far as general pieces of advice, you know, if you want a teal deer, yeah, it's a little late for that, but if you want that for, you know, what to look for as far as Mitama that you're going to equip, figure out how you're going to use a particular weapon, figure out which boosts would work the best for it, and then after you figured that out, like which will actually fit that playstyle, so like with the ranged weapons, for instance, I'm going to be at range, so I'm not going to be taking hits. Therefore, since I'm not going to be taking hits, my health is going to be at max most of the time. Therefore, ipso facto, you know, it would behoove me to choose skills that work when I'm at max health. You know, that's kind of the thought process that I have for it, and that may be a little over the top of the heads of some people, but what can I say? I'm a freak anyway. Other than that, just try all sorts of things. They made it so that the Mitama in this game work almost like puzzle pieces, where you can have one Mitama in your weapon slot, which will work wonderfully with one that you can have in your attack slot, which will then work wonderfully with one that you can have in your evasive slot. And figuring out that process is very entertaining to me, but a lot of people, I could see where the min-maxing would be a little, you know, boring or just, you know, not worth it. But when you do actually, you know, get everything all put together and all the pieces fall into place and everything's all wonderful and all that stuff, it does pay out in, you know, in due course. And you can really see the results of spending the time and min-maxing your actual Mitama selection. And the great part is that there's like 204 Mitama in this game, so even though I choose these ones right now, I'm going to probably sub them out eventually, you know, probably pretty soon here anyway. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for that one. If you guys have any questions, or if you have any other tips as far as, you know, Mitama placement, you know, which ones you use for, you know, a particular build and all that stuff, leave them down below. You know, leave the names, where you got the Mitama, all that stuff, what the purpose of your actual Mitama builds are, and yeah, if you can think of any other better names for your Mitama combinations, hey, sweet, go for it. Oh, also, another thing that I didn't mention, if you get specific Mitama and you equip them the right way, like if you get 3 Mitama from a particular time period, so like those ones are Your, Peace, and War, if you get like 3 from Your, or 3 from Peace, or 3 from War, you'll get a passive boost in addition to what you were doing. And I can't think of what any of them are off the top of my head, but they have other combinations as well. Like, they've got ones where if you use this Mitama and they happen to be the wife of, you know, this Mitama, or husband of this Mitama, yada yada yada, you can also get boosts that way. I'm sure that there are guides up online. I don't know them. Don't ask me. I whatever. Anyway. That's going to do it as far as my Mitama basics, and this may have actually gone past the realm of basics. Who knows? Anyway, if you guys liked it, feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, so on and so forth. Say goodbye, Burden. Yeah, he's still here. Anyway. See you later, guys.